We've been talking to our next guest for quite a while now, and it's been cool to see their journey to what we're about to taste tonight. And it's something that we've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. I'm Jonathan Green. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. For a lot of folks, school has started, and I decided to go back to school, so I need a drink. so, so I think we've got a good lineup tonight as we welcome in
Yep.
the co-founders of 15 Stars, and what we'll be talking about tonight, First West by 15 Stars. Let's welcome in Rick and Ricky Johnson.
How's it
Awesome.
going?
Glad
It's
to
good to
be
be here.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good to
Welcome.
see you all again.
Welcome back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Well, I was gonna say we talked in the spring or earlier in 2025, and we asked this question at some point: when are you guys gonna do your own stuff? We've been hearing about this for a while, and lo and behold, they gave us maybe a little tease if you were paying close attention during that episode. So let's get it started with one of those that actually features your stuff that you guys have produced, and that is the First West Small Batch. Brandon, show off that very beautiful bottle.
I mean, I will say the bottle work, the design is, I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's very appealing. Definitely would attract my eyes sitting on the shelf at any store. So, um, yeah, I'm excited about this one. I've heard a lot of good stuff about this one on the World Wide Web, the social medias, everybody in the bourbon world. So I'm excited to try this one.
So, what can you tell us about the small batch? Because it's a 5, 6, and 7 year blend, but it features your proprietary corn for the first time.
Yeah, well, Dad, maybe you should touch on that bottle real quick. Do you happen to have a prop with you?
I've got props. I don't mess around when it comes to props. So, well, you
Yes.
guys know 15 stars got a little historical thing to it, right? Kentucky, 15th
Right.
state, second U.S. flag, 15 stars, 15 stripes. I like the flag on that hat.
Yep.
Yeah, and we've built a collection of artisan items from early Kentucky that kind of guide our work, to be honest. We try and live up to some of the great early Kentucky artisans and put our own little twist on it while we're doing it. So I think that's only fair, right?
Right.
So that's really what that bottle is we've built a collection of early Kentucky things. We've got a group of these bottles, and so this is an example of an early 1800s bottle made in Louisville, Kentucky. The first bottles made in Kentucky and used for bourbon. And so we've got about I don't know, 8 or 10 of these. Yeah, you can see it against the bottle we
Yeah.
produced. So what we said
Yeah.
was, hey, we want to take this bottle, but not just reproduce, kind of like we wouldn't make bourbon just the way the old guy did it, right?
Right.
But we learn from them and take the very best of what they did, honor what they did, and move forward with it. And that's what that bottle really is. Is it's a redesign of that very first bottle. You notice it's blue, light blue, just like the original.
Hmm.
Kind of a bluish green. So same color, made out of recycled glass to kind of give it that aged look. Got some
Right.
bubbles in it. Got the ribs on the side. Actually has a finish up here where it pours. That's off of one of the other
Yeah.
bottles. We got a couple of bottles that have that same finish, so we copied that. So, kind of
That's awesome.
history in a bottle here, Kentucky
Yeah.
artisanship. And I'll say a couple more little quick things. That stopper top
Yeah.
um, is off of a what's called a Kentucky token, 1795 minted, celebrating Kentucky as the 15th state with 15 stars there. Got it also
Wow.
on the neck. And then the bottom of this, if I can not have this pour out on a bottom, also 15 stars with Raise the Glory on the back from the backside of a 1795 George Washington success token, also celebrating Kentucky as the
Wow.
15th state. So we're tying an old bottle, things that celebrate Kentucky as the 15th state with 15 stars for our namesake. And I'll throw one more in. These dudes on the front,
Yep.
guys and gals actually.
Yep.
Lady there riding on the horse and a dog. Um, that's off of a famous painting done by George Caleb Bingham, and that's Daniel Boone leading the settlers. through the Cumberland Gap, opening the Wilderness Road into America's first West. So
Wow.
Kentucky was the first West of America. When you come through the Cumberland Gap, originally, that's how people settled it. That was the West of America in George Washington's time, and so we're celebrating with this Kentucky, Kentucky craftsmanship, and America's first West, which is where bourbon was born. So the West was born in Kentucky, and this is a 1775 scene. 1785, Bourbon County is, produced for the first time, became Bourbon County. Whiskey made there. How did you settle ground in America's first West? You grew a crop of corn. How did you store corn in the winter? You distilled it into whiskey. So it's the home of bourbon. So the home of the West, America's first West, and America's first native spirit, bourbon. So that was a pile, wasn't
That's
it?
awesome.
I love it.
Oh,
but
I love it.
The little
Yeah.
Easter eggs on the bottle. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much there that I didn't even think to look at the bottom. Like
Yeah, who would?
I mean,
Right. Yeah.
those are just such cool nods to the history, and
Yeah.
I love that you do that.
Yeah.
Think about
with these.
think about the effort we put in the whiskey. If we do that with the bottle,
That
Yeah.
is true. That is
Exactly.
true.
yeah, that's really fun to kind of celebrate Kentucky,
I
and
love
it's
it.
it's got a distinctive shape. Looks, took that classic look.
Yep.
We used a group called Stranger and Stranger, and they did what we said is we want a bottle that makes you want it before you know what's in it.
Right.
I think they delivered.
I think so too.
That
Yeah,
blue
that looks
dot
good on a shelf.
on the
That looks
shelf, so
real good on a shelf.
we're pretty proud of it. We got a few coins in it too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
a free bottle.
Yeah. Well, even just the labeling on it is, you could tell it's just really high level. Just the way that it just jumps off the bottle, it just really that embossed feel. You could just really tell it's just good quality, high quality stuff. And it,
We
and then
tried to do the best we could do, and we got a great team with
Yeah.
this Stranger and Stranger that just did. Those guys knocked it out of the park for us, we think. So we're proud of it.
nice.
Yeah, proud
Should
of
we
what they
get to
did.
the high quality stuff in the bottle?
I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
say,
Oh,
does
yeah.
does
There's
the
something in the
does the
bottle?
inside match the outside? Is what we want to know.
There we go.
Yep, we'll find out. So, with the 5, 6, and 7-year-old in the small batch, the 5-year-old, like you hinted at, is our own distillate. This is the first product to introduce our own distillate into our blends. So, the 5 is a red, white, and blue corn mash bill. It's a 70% corn, 18% rye, 12% malted barley mash bill. And then a 6 and a 7-year-old. And so, similar to how 15 Stars historically has been blends of sourced tie-age material, we'll continue to use that wide variety of inventory we have to bring different flavor profiles to our blends and include our own distillate in that. So 5, 6, and 7-year-old in this blend.
Wow.
Yeah, so the black corn that you see there, the black corn isn't in it. We are
Not in there
distilling
yet. Not yet.
Yeah, it's been distilled. It's actually our
2026.
oldest. Yeah, our oldest distillate we have is of that black corn, but the red, white, and blue is what's in this product. And the small batch is flavor proofed, as we do with all our products, proofing for flavor solely rather than cost and volume or a marketing term. So flavor proof to 102 proof.
I mean, it literally, I get a hint of popcorn on the nose, and then it goes into something very, very tasty. And it's not what I expected, because what I'm going to say next is not a knock on anyone else that uses red, white, and blue, but other people have done it. Some people love it, some don't. I feel like it can be a very,
Definitely.
one of those that it doesn't fit everyone's boat. But this thing, Brandon, I'm impressed, at least off the initial taste.
100%. This is, it's very good. I was obviously really, really excited to try it, and it's living up to the hype. 100% for sure.
One of the things, and people do have, you mentioned in those colored corns, people have something in their mind about that. And some people eat up what's in their mind. Some people don't, right? And
Right.
honestly, I've had a few that I really like. and I have some that I just haven't been able to warm up to be honest. And but and when we say red, white, and blue, so we're not using Jimmy Red, we're not using Bloody Butcher, we're not using those are field corns actually, right?
Yep.
And so
Yep.
those are
Yep.
old field corns, and so the corns we use are these small corns, and they're really a popcorn, which is a version of a flint corn. And so a very different corn. And so these aren't going to produce any of the flavors. These flavors are always going to be different than those traditional red, white, or blue, or whatever other corns that I don't really know of anybody else that's using a flint corn in colored corns. And so I just would say that to say these are different flavors. And so if somebody has something in their mind about that flavor, good or bad, this is just going to be different. It's a different thing.
And it's a good different. And
Wow.
it's Brandon, help me out. I'm at a loss for words. I guess I did too much homework last night. I don't know.
Hey, yeah. I mean, the nose on it is fantastic. I mean, you just smell. You can smell the corn almost, and I'm almost tricked my mind into thinking when we're talking about red, white, and blue. And of course, we'll talk about this later about the popcorn business. But it's kind of almost tricked my mind that I'm wait, am I smelling popcorn? Am I smelling like some? And then you get the bourbon notes, and then I'm getting my mind in the corn, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's candy corn that I smell, or even caramel corn. But anyway, the nose is fantastic on it. The flavor profile is, I guess, something different every sip. And whether that's the little subtleness of the sweet, salty, nutty, earthy, obviously, but it's just a little something different each time. And yeah, I mean, well done. I think the proof is just right. I think it's perfect. It gives it that little bit of a kick on the back end, but it mellows, everything ties in together.
And so, kind of as I mentioned with the flavor proofing, we are very intentional with our proof,
Right.
and spend a lot of time proofing different blends rather than creating a final blend and proofing that as kind of an afterthought. We proof various different blends that we don't even end up using just to find a blend and proof combination. But what that lends itself to is typically a smoother drinking product from my experience. So you can find a nice balance where you get enough proof to bring out the richness that proof brings, the viscosity, but not so much proof that it's distracting from flavor, because at a point proof does not benefit flavor.
Right.
So it's about finding that balance where you're getting the most out of the product. And like you said, I think that is a benefit to the smoothness of a product as well.
Yeah, and maybe one thing that we focus on in addition to that you can pick up with that, and it's kind of hanging in your mouth a little bit, right? And so what we really do too, and this doesn't say non-chill filtered on here, but these are obviously non-chill filtered. Doesn't say it on the bottle, but beyond that, when we put it in the bottle, we're running it through the very lightest filtration that we can run it through. And so we're taking out, if there's a piece of a charred barrel in there, it's not going to make it into the bottle, right? But we're not stripping out any of that essence of that bourbon that's going to give you that rich mouthfeel, right? That really, it to me is what really makes a bourbon really enjoyable, right? And if you get the proof too light, it can get a little watery, and it can go through. Or if you just filter too much, it's just not that rich coating that gets on your mouth that just is pretty darn pleasant, right? And sticks those flavors in there a little bit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say a lot of times, Brandon, you and I like to say it's as weird as it sounds, it's juicy in a sense, and that's really, once you were going through that, I'm like, no wonder I love 15 stars
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
We're very cautious about that, right? It's just always the very least filtration that we can put on that baby.
You should, because we've all had those bourbons or whiskeys or whatever it may be that just leaves your mouth like, it kind of feels, very dry, and it's just kind of unpleasant, but these and every one that we've had from from your all's label and brand, it just leaves us wanting more. It's like, it's you kind of that kind of quenches your thirst type deal, but it's like it could get
I drank all
this could
night
get
on that.
dangerous. But yeah, see, there you go. But we like to refer to it as that
Maybe,
juicy.
maybe
But
some of
it's
that
really good.
stickiness is what does that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but I think it might, right? That it just kind of it hangs there a little bit, and so you're sitting there, you can enjoy it after you drink it. You sit there, you savor it a bit, and it does kind of
yep,
say, "Hey, I'll take
yeah,
another one."
yeah.
and 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 we mentioned this just a little bit ago, but I feel like it ties into this, especially when you're talking about the type of corn that you're using. What made y'all, for those that don't know, if you've listened to us in the past, Dr. Rick and Ricky, you might have an idea that Ricky was in college and all of a sudden he had a good idea. But what really made you guys want to really combine the popcorn and the bourbon into, or go from popcorn to bourbon and use the popcorn and the corn that you use on that side of your family businesses in this new one?
Yeah, so kind of how you said it is the basics of it. Just a short overview. These corns were originally used for a popcorn company called Black Jewel and are still used for that. And I'd been working with that company in summers home from school, and it was actually my dad's idea. I'll give him credit. He asked me if I wanted to see if we could turn those popcorns into bourbon, and asked me to create a business plan around it while I was still in school at the time and in business school, so it made sense
Yep.
for me as a project. And spent the summer learning, making connections, and we found Bardstown Bourbon Company in that search, and they were really excited about the project. They hadn't done anything with colored corns before, and they're a young distillery now, and they were younger then, and so we're wanting to experiment and willing to experiment with something like that. I mean, we didn't even know if the corns would distill, if the chemistry would work at this time,
Right.
but they tested them for us, said that it would distill, and we went forward in November of 2019 and started distilling the black corn my dad showed earlier. Was the first corn that we distilled in November.
Nice.
It's a
Nice.
patient game.
But yeah. Now was the bourbon? I guess was the bourbon. I guess concept or brainchild, was that always kind of like maybe a dream or kind of a goal to get into, or was that just something that you man, just had an epiphany and it's like we could use what we're doing with the popcorn business and try to make something unique and break into the bourbon?
I will say, I did. I've been in several businesses. One of them was built a chain of convenience stores, a couple of hundred stores,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
nice.
those were in Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois.
Yeah,
And as I was driving around through Kentucky, it did cross my mind. It'd be kind
yeah.
of cool someday,
Right, right. Yeah,
that to have a bourbon brand. I never thought we'd do it.
right,
And even when Ricky was doing the project, I didn't think we'd do it.
right,
But
right.
but when it got done, we thought, well, why not give it a try? See what happens.
Hey,
It's been
I
fun.
mean,
It's been
yeah.
fun.
I mean,
And
round
here
of
we are.
applause because it's we love it. It's fantastic. I love what you guys are doing.
What we ought to do on another podcast is we ought to send you guys the corn.
Yep,
You pop up each of the corns, and we
yep,
just get each of the bourbons from each of the corns, just
yep,
as sample bottles, right? Just to
yep.
say
Yeah.
here's what came out of there, and you can taste the difference in the corns, and you can. I mean, they're wildly different as popcorn, and they're wildly different
Right.
as bourbons. It's
Yeah, definitely.
pretty
I'm in
cool.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign us up because
Yeah,
it's wild too to taste these, because one, I know when we first had our first conversation back 3-4 years ago, whenever that was, and you guys were doing 15 stars and you had done that part, but you then went into the blending side of things, with buying barrels and doing a great job at that. Brandon and I are sitting in the media tent at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and we're talking to Steve
I was
from
getting ready to tell
Bardstown.
this story, but go roll with
All
it.
right, go for it.
Go,
You
no,
roll
no,
for it,
no, go
because
with it because I'll never forget that. That was
um,
awesome.
because I had a moment where I was like, wait a minute, did I just say something I wasn't supposed to say? Because, we had talked and I had known something, and Steve is talking. We asked him a question about what's it like working with all these different people that are trying things. And he goes, man, you'll never believe this. there's these guys that brought in this corn, and it smelled like popcorn. The
Yeah.
whole distillery
Place.
smelled like popcorn.
The whole place smelled like popcorn or whatever. John was like, "Yeah, it's 15 stars." And Steve looked at us and he's like, "How did you guys know that?"
Yeah.
Like looked at us like, "This is top secret information." And they were like, "How did you guys even know that?" And we were like, "Well,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
we know some folks."
Yeah.
I mean, but to go through that process, and like you said, I mean, you didn't know if it was going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, and then obviously, okay, so it worked. You were able to make the mash. You still don't know if it's going to taste good, technically. I mean, once you put it in a barrel, that's another. What was it like working with Bardstown and going on that journey? One, to see if you could even make a mash out of it. Two, to then see if it would work in a barrel. And now three, clearly, it's doing pretty well with a 5-year, age statement on it.
They have been, and we say it all the time, they have been extraordinary for us to work with. We appreciate the talent that they have. We know them as just good people, right? And we respect them as just good people, all through the team. And they really, from the very beginning, I mean, we talk about it, and we talk with others too, but we talk about how we ought to do it, what we ought to do. And honestly, that's kind of why the red, white, and blue is in here. The black is a little older right now, but the red, white, and blue we threw in barrels and still do at 103 proof barrel entry, right? So a really low barrel entry. So it's just kind of, for whatever reason, it's just warmed up and gotten to where we thought it was ready to go. But we toyed around with various entry proofs, and it's all a guess. Whether it's their guess, our guess, it is a guess. But what we did with them is just kind of walk through what are all our choices that we've got, and we were learning a lot then, and quite honestly, we're still learning a lot now as we're bringing these things together and trying to figure out how do we make something really extraordinary with some really interesting different product. But they have just been really helpful in helping us kind of lay out the options, and then just kind of saying, whatever you guys kind of make your call, and we'll make it happen. And 100% they've done that, and so it's just been, again, we're not sitting here thinking about building a distillery because we just do it like they're doing it. So I mean, we don't need a distillery, right? And we work with them like that, just as a team, very collaborative.
That's awesome.
It's been fun.
Yeah, and you guys aren't the first folks that we've talked to, and to say that about them. Like they're really good people, and they've got a great business model that they're doing and helping people and stuff. It's awesome.
Kind of said, treat it like it's your distillery.
Yeah.
We have. And it's been great.
And you don't see that anywhere else, honestly. I mean, that might be one of the only distilleries that that lets folks do that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
No. And going back to that pour, I'm just like what Brandon said earlier. It's different almost every time. Like I pick up a different note. I pick up a different, I like you get some honey. You get some. It's a little roller coaster ride, and but it's a fun one. It's not one that scares me at any point. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's the 5, 6, and 7, 25 barrels or less.
Yeah.
Small batch blend, right?
Yeah. Carlos said that.
Yep.
Given
that includes, like you said, the red, white, and blue. The corn. Now you don't have to tell me now, but you could tell me later. But just for everybody listening, is there plans to have a blend of age this older and blend a few older barrels on down the road with this one?
So
Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah, just absolutely. Yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, I like it. Just matter of fact. Yep.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
We can't wait to see how they get older, and we can't wait. Right, as I think our oldest is just turning 6 right now, and we do some traditional stuff too. Right, when we find while we were doing our sourcing, right, we were looking at all these different mash bills. We distill a dozen different mash bills every year, so we're set up to continue the blending. And when we found mash bills of regular corn, right, and regular distill product that we loved and we wanted to have, yeah, we bought barrels of it and we started making it. And so we've got it for the future. So
awesome.
this will all turn it, over the next couple of years. 5, 6, and 7 will all be our product, and it will contain some of these products that that have some. It will still be a blend of our heirloom corn and traditional bourbons, and it's really what will drive it is what drives us is flavor.
Yeah,
Whatever the blend is that produces the flavors that we love, that's where we're going to go with it, and
I
that's our
love it.
guide. That's our
I can't
guide.
wait to see it, and I can't wait to try this next one. Uh, I believe same grouping 5, 6, and 7, but this one you guys finished in a toasted white oak barrel. It is the toasted oak.
Yeah, so same ages, almost the same distillates. The 5-year-old remains that red, white, and blue corn mash bill. Uh, the 6-year-old is swapped out for a slightly, this one is a slightly higher malted barley content. Or sorry, this one is slightly, the other one, the small batch is a slightly higher malted barley content. The toasted oak is a slightly higher rye content, slightly lower malted barley content. And
Okay.
the 7-year-old is the same. So almost
That's
the same blend, not quite.
totally different nose.
Yeah,
Totally different
completely
nose.
different nose. Yeah.
And so for the toast on this, we as blenders like to complicate things. So we tried a few different toasted profiles when we were experimenting with it and ended up picking two that we blended together. So one is a heavy toast, so heavier in those toasted oak and oak notes. And the other I would describe as a sweeter toast. So brown sugar, kind of molasses, caramel, those dessert sweet notes. And that one's the slight majority at 60%. So those two different profiles in there to give it a little more complexity on the finish.
Yeah.
You
And
just confused me on the nose to the palate. I'm confused in a good way. In a good way. It was not what I was expecting, and
The nose is fantastic on this one, and it's completely different. Like we mentioned, it's.
Yep.
I mean, I get lots of fruit on this one, like pears. I don't know why. My mind just went to pears, but like just and then like raisins. I could smell raisins in that one. Like, and it's very distinct too. And I'm normally not like pick them out like that, but yeah, I don't know why my mind just went to that, but yeah, that
I agree.
98 proof, man.
well, and with that high rye, kind of mixing up the mash bill for this one, or what ended up quote unquote being kind of what the mash bill would be, and that having a little more spice to me on this one gives it a whole different. These are two it's what I love about people that actually know what they're doing when they blend stuff, because basically you have two of the same products. You just did a few little things different,
yeah,
and two totally different flavors, but both equally enjoyable.
Right.
and the
Yeah, and
that toasted
I
profile.
wish it was
We
as
didn't
simple as.
cover, and toasts are different,
guys
right? I
hear
mean,
me?
you do get some toasted. Ricky fell off, huh? You do get some toasted product that comes on, and and maybe people use the toast to kind of age it a little bit, right?
Right, right, right.
Maybe on its own, it wasn't quite there, but the toast kind of pushes it up.
Yeah.
And on this one, we give it a light toast because really it's a blend of bourbons that we absolutely love, and so the toast kind of lays over that
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah. What what
And
um what number of char did you guys do? Do you know what you did on that toast and for how
Well,
long?
so these are toasted, so not charred,
Oh yeah,
right?
sorry, my bad. Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
So and as Ricky said, just two toasts, but those are going to be, not under a full flame. Those are just
Right.
going to be just a good heated
Yeah,
toast in that barrel.
yeah. That's what I was trying to ask. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you got a kid at home now. You got dad brain.
Yeah, house renovation. We're all right. We're good.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
and
we chose that toast. I mean, honestly, and kind of like I said before, we followed some. There's a few toasted products that we just really loved, and so we said,
Hmm.
okay, let's try that. There'll probably be a double oaked in our future.
ooh, I
I,
love it.
man, I knew I loved you guys. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'll be really excited for that one. But no, John, you're right. That does give it that little bit, a little extra spice
Hmm.
on the back end, especially when you on the nose, because I get a lot of fruit,
Yeah, it's
creaminess, a lot of fruitiness on the front end on the
sweet
nose.
nose, sweet
Yeah,
nose.
yeah,
It is a
yeah.
sweet nose. It's a sweet nose and a little bit richer and deeper
Correct.
core.
Hmm.
Yes, 100%. Even though it's not as high as proof as the small batch, but it's got more complexity to it. I feel like it's got. I think maybe the toast maybe does that to a degree. I think it's got a little
Yeah.
bit more of that. And I say that because I was getting a different tasting note on every sip that I took of the small batch, but like you said, this is a little bit deeper, a little bit richer, um, and a different mouthfeel too when it comes to that.
I bet he didn't plug his computer in. I
Probably
bet he,
didn't.
I bet he ran out of
I'm
battery. What
back.
do you
Probably
think?
didn't. Probably didn't.
Did you
Welcome
have to go to
back.
the bathroom or what
I
happened?
don't know. It just said I lost internet connection, and I had internet, so maybe it just blipped out and it crashed it or whatever. But we're back.
But we were just talking bad about you the whole time.
Totally.
I could
It's
hear the
good.
whole thing.
Ah. Well, so I gotta ask this because you talk about you guys do the flavor proofing and you work towards different things. So using your own distillate and this the red, white, and blue and stuff like that, did it change how you guys wanted to do the blends, or was it pretty much still the same and it was just again it was just a different product like it is each time on some of the other ones?
Yeah, really the same approach on it. So not much did change in the blending process. Started with the three products in it, and process of elimination our way to a blend that we loved.
Yeah, and played with different products. I mean, what I think really is the difference, and we've got everything we do with those upper end 15 stars bottles is in these, except no double digit whiskey, right? We can't put that small batch is $59 SRP, right? So very much more, and our 15 stars really starts at 139 and goes to 279, right? So we just couldn't do double digit whiskey and sell it for $59. But but where that went out, we were able to bring these heirloom corns in to give us something to really play with special, and in both of those, right? We're 5, 6, and 7. We got some. Still brought those heirloom corns in to give us something to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, we love it. And speaking of those heirloom corns, like obviously the red, white, and blue is y'all's first. You know, um, talk about what made you what decided that you guys wanted to do those first, the red, white, and blue, and then are there plans to use any other varieties of the heritage corns in future batches or future bottles?
Yeah, so the red, white, and blue, even though it's not our oldest product we have, we've been playing. I mean, we've been pulling samples of all the different distillates we've done as they're aging, and have an understanding of where they're at. And when we do that, we'll blend with them. We'll pull things that we think would work for products and they're similar ages and blend with it, explore a little bit. And then based on that, we and just ended up creating a blend that we loved with that red, white, and blue. And so we have plans for a good few other, I wouldn't say concrete plans, but plans for the
Yeah.
other distillates we've done. That black corn will be used very soon, next year. And then also we
Nice.
have a mash bill that I like a lot is a barely legal rye, so 51% rye, 5% malted barley, 44% corn, and the corn portion of that is a blend of our black and white heirloom corns. And That's a younger product. I think a little over 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
And but the white dog
It's
on
coming
that,
along pretty
it
good
was it
though.
was as soon as we tried the white dog on that product, even at that stage, because normally like, all right, from the white dog you can tell like, is it a good distillate or is it a bad distillate? But that was like,
Right.
the white dog was really enjoyable, and we're like, all right, so this has to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
the barrels don't hurt it any, right? And
Yeah.
if it's not good at the first, they're also not going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
That is true. Yeah. In most cases, anyway. Yeah. I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited to try that one for sure.
It'll be fun.
Well, I love that you guys are trying different combinations too. Because correct me if I'm wrong. On the red, white, and blue for this one, those were all put in. It wasn't like you had a barrel of red, a barrel of white, and a barrel of blue. It was red, white, and blue were in the barrel
Yeah,
together.
so
Correct.
mashed, fermented, distilled together. We do have them all separate though in the same mash bill. So that's a cool thing to see is in the exact same mash bill, how do these corns differ? And so that's with that being the sole variable there.
and they do differ a little, right? We've taken the red, white, and blue mashed together, and taken our red, white, and blue separate, and put them together. We didn't put them at even ratios. We built a ratio that we thought would be optimal, and ends up we like it a lot. And so we've put those individual ones together in that same ratio, and the flavor is different between mashing it together and and blending it years later. So it's really interesting.
I love that. See, you learn something every day.
You would think, right? We
Yeah.
didn't think. We thought, okay, if we need more red, white, and blue, we'll just blend it together. Well, not really.
Yeah. No. Yeah. All right.
It's like I'm slipping into the
Excellent.
dark, doesn't it?
Next one.
Yeah.
John, you ready for the next?
I'm ready. I got my little sample on my side because we're nice and we split our bottles between
That is
between
right.
the
Yeah.
two of us.
That is true. That is true. So next one is we got the extra age, the 8-year one. Sorry if the lighting is bad, but a little different color label on the front, but obviously with the age stated on there. So this is 8 and 9 year old. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So
And
yeah, blend of 8 and 9 year old. Actually, 2 8s
okay.
and a 9 year old.
Okay.
And one of those
Nice.
eights, a little bit more of a unique mash bill, a high malted barley mash bill. So bringing
Okay.
a little bit of roundness, dark fruit flavor to the product, but not a majority of the blend. Kind of more of a background, kind of wraps around the rest of the flavors, creates a background on it. But yeah, a really interesting blend. This does not contain only any of our own distillate. We'd love to have 8 year old, but we're not quite there
Yeah.
yet. And
Yeah.
Soon.
soon,
Soon.
somewhat soon.
Very soon.
Uh, and 100 proof on this product. And I think, I don't know if you guys mentioned while I was off the call for a second, but the toasted oak was 98 proof. I don't think I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
And so you can see all the proofs of these products are kind of hovering that 100 proof area, which I talked about the kind of balance, the balancing act that is proofing earlier. Uh,
Yep.
and
Yep.
and that's kind of where we liked all of these, in that area where you get the fullness of flavor, but it's not, overbearingly bitey or proofy. It's very smooth and enjoyable for each of them.
I
And
think
again, a different nose on this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very different nose.
Another thing that I like about the trio of these, just in general, is they all bring something different, kind of like you guys have mentioned. There's there's an offering for a lot of different palates. If one isn't your favorite, try another. If that isn't your favorite, try the other. I mean, there's a lot of variety in them to explore and to enjoy.
we go back and forth on which is our favorite. In fact, I'm going back and forth right now.
I am too. Like I literally there. I was going in my mind as you were saying it offers something different for everybody, a different variety. And I'm like I'm sitting here thinking I was like I don't know. I couldn't tell you right now which one would be my favorite. But I like them all.
That's This one,
It's
the extra age, is completely different. I think this one, to me, if I'm thinking through this, and we've been fortunate enough to have multiple 15 stars pours, 15 stars, I feel like for us, you get a lot of fruit in them. This one is probably the first of the ones to really lean more toward what you would see in a 15 stars pour, which if you like it at $80, you might like it at the next one when it's got a whole bunch of older stuff and it tastes really good too.
Probably will.
For sure.
true.
You
That's
know,
very
that
true.
8 and 9 year age. As we've kind of circled around folks in the business, there's a lot of people who would say, "Hey, that 8 9 year time period, that's when bourbon is." A lot of people would say it kind of hits a peak, right? I mean, it's a sweet spot, and
Yeah.
so we thought, okay, let's do that. Let's play with that. As Ricky said, we played around with some different things, but 2 8s and a 9.
Right.
And produce something that really captures what bourbon delivers kind of in its prime, And now we
Right.
still
It's
love
tasty.
those extra age to be the
Oh,
extra age. I mean, we're not
yeah.
getting away from that, but
Right. Right.
uh,
Of
but
course.
but this is it's a nice place for bourbon, that 8 and 9 year age.
This is good.
And it's actually been what's interesting. So at 59, 69, and $79 SRP, this has so far been the best seller off the shelf. So people are choosing off of our lineup. They're choosing. Let's just step up to the extra age. Now it's not by a
Right.
ton. They're all selling about the same, but extra age is edging it out.
So what was the just for anybody that would miss that the price point on all three of those again?
Small batch, $59,
Yep.
suggested retail.
Yep.
Toasted oak, $69,
Okay.
and extra aged, $79
I
SRP.
mean, it's hard to beat that, man. I mean, it really is.
Kind of the 15 stars, which has been on that top end, kind of brought into a reasonably approachable price. It's not.
Yeah.
These are still craft bourbons, right? We're not gonna. We're
Right.
not gonna beat the.
But I mean, they're still approachable. And what I
Right.
guess for this line, the First West line, what made you guys maybe want to go that route? Because, like you said, the other ones, they're if we're being honest, they're in the extra premium category
Sure.
in a sense. What made you guys kind of want to go into what I feel like nowadays is kind of the middle ground of a lot of them? I mean, you see more of the $50 to $70 releases these days. Maybe not with the same ages as y'all, which is nice to see with the 5, 6, and 7 instead of maybe a 2 or 3 in that age room range. But what made you guys want to do that price point? Because like you said, you didn't skimp on the bottle. I mean, you didn't skimp on the label, as Brandon was pointing out. I mean, that's some raised lettering. I mean, you guys made it a premium product still at an affordable price.
Yeah, it is a premium product, and
Yeah.
we always thought so. It wasn't a decision to do this. Really, this is where we thought we'd be at the beginning. It just takes in bourbon, right? It takes some time to get there, and for
Yeah.
us to build the stocks and get our own. We wanted to put our own product in it, and we will keep. Every year that goes by, right? It'll be more and more of our product, and
Yeah.
so it really we just needed that time, and honestly, that helped us out a lot to take those super age products and to set our sights really, really high. You can't put out. I guess you can, but we're not going to put out a super age product that isn't outstanding. And while those are, like I said, 140 to 279 buck SRPs,
Right.
we set them up against the very best that's out there that on the secondary market for a lot more than that, and so we think they're still a good value,
Right.
but they're not going to be somebody's regular drinking bourbon, right? I think we can
Right.
say that it's a special occasion treat.
Correct.
But we always wanted to be in this level, and it just takes a little bit of time. So we're excited about it, and we love the products that we're bringing into that price point. We think we are bringing something that delivers a really good value at a good price. So we're
Right.
excited about it.
Yeah.
We enjoy
Well,
sitting
even
back drinking it. I'll say
yeah.
that.
Well, even if I would have walked into a friend of mine's house that I'd never seen this label or never heard of it or whatever, I mean, this looks like a 100 plus bottle. $100 more than $100.
honestly, a lot of
just a
people have
bottle.
said it looks like it should cost more than our other bottles.
Right.
I mean, really, a lot of people say that. I mean, why would that one
Yeah.
be less money? It should be more money.
Yeah, and well,
That's because
just
they hadn't pulled the topper off of the 15 stars. Once you pull the topper off, you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah,
I
that
get
is
it.
different. You're right. That is
listen,
different.
listen. The topper on those are worth the price of admission, just alone, just the topper. Like so, but no, I mean I mean, this bottle is just, I mean, it literally puts it over the top, and especially at that price point, the small batch, $60. I mean, the bottle itself, if it's sitting on somebody's shelf, somebody's bar cart, whatever it is, I mean, it looks like it's well worth, well over $100 bottle. And it drinks like that too. And all of them do. So, I mean, well done. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited about it,
Yeah, we are too.
and we got some good things coming down the pike.
Well, I was gonna say. So you mentioned that. So, and Ricky, you talked about you got the black one. You got the black and white mix. So clearly, I'm guessing this is a line extension. First West by 15 Stars. So what is the future look like for this line? Because obviously, with 15 Stars, you guys are doing, like you said, the upper end ages, some really fun, funky blending. I mean, different finishes. The triple cask 1 and 2 are some of our favorites. So
Yeah.
what's First West future kind of look like?
We're figuring it out as we go. I mean, we
Hey,
hinted at that black corn will be
I
included
love
in the
it.
product next
These-
year, so something to look forward
I
to
love
there.
it.
Yeah.
The first product we ever distilled, so that'll be in use. But there's a lot to still be decided.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, and that's the fun of it, and I'd say what we've learned in blending is that to make the very best thing, you don't push the whiskey somewhere, right? You don't try and make it be something it's not. You let it express itself, and so honestly, we play with those things while they're younger, but they're still developing, right? They're still changing,
Right.
and we approach it that way. We're not trying to push it into being something. We're not trying to make it into something it's not. We're trying to let it express itself in the ways that it is the best and find those combinations that add the complexity and depth and interest to a bourbon, and do it in a way that they play with one another appropriately, right? Because honestly, some of these things we've got some of these things you put in 5 or 10% of something, and it starts to take over. Or 20, you can't go over 20. I mean, we've got a lot of these that push around the Three Kings was a good example, right? We had a
Yeah.
rye in there. That's rye bourbon and wheat whiskey, and boy, the rye in that. I mean, it just wanted to cover everything up, right? You had to pull it back, and so it's finding that balancing, and so I don't think we can figure it out till we get there. You know.
Hey,
So
I love that. I
here
love
we
that
go.
approach.
Here we go. I don't know,
I,
but what we do know is if we don't love it, it won't go in that bottle. That
right.
we do.
That's fair.
Very simple.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
yeah, I love it.
Now, obviously, you guys these just kind of hit the market not too long ago. Brandon and I are going to one of our favorite things ever here. By the time this episode drops, it'll be the week of. When we're talking, we're a little bit early. It's crazy to think that it's here because they moved up the date. But
Yeah.
Kentucky Bourbon Fest, I believe you guys are going to be there again. Is that right?
We are looking forward to it.
So are folks that are going to that going to have a chance to try both this and the 15 Stars, or what can folks expect at Bourbon Fest from y'all?
We're going to have 4 bottles there. We're going to have the 3 we just walked through, and then 15 Stars. And
Yeah.
it's a new bottle, and it's going to release 4 KBF.
Okay.
And it's a little dark in
It's
here.
killing me how dark it is. I feel like I'm watching more
But
and more.
yeah, 15 Stars Artisan Collection.
Yeah.
First release of this, a blend of 12. It's got 12 on the bottle, but a blend
Yeah.
of 12 and 15-year-old
Okay.
bourbon. So we're loving this one, and just won that the John Barleycorn Best Bourbon in their spring competition. So we got a Best Bourbon award winner. And I forget how many bottles this. We don't have a ton of bottles of this, do we, Ricky? 1,200 and something. That's all we
Yep.
got. So excited to bring that out at KBF.
I'll definitely be. I'll be
Pouring
acquiring
it.
a bottle of that.
We'll be pouring it.
Yeah, I'll definitely get a bottle of that for sure.
I tell you
I'm
what, we'll
excited
just
about
send one your way. How's that?
Thank you.
I was gonna say,
Yes, absolutely.
but Brandon, you and I will have to fight over it, so we'll see who gets it.
At least half a bottle then.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll pay for the second bottle.
But I mean, I love what y'all are doing, and for those two that are looking for these, obviously, KBF's been sold out for a while, so if you're going there,
Yes.
check them out. It's always worth it, and you're going to get a brand new pour that hasn't hit the shelves, but availability of these as well. Where can folks find y'all? Obviously here in Kentucky, yes, but where else?
So we're in a good few states now, with 15 stars at 28, I think is the number, mostly on this eastern half of the U.S. And First West, it's been out for just over a month now. So still getting good distribution with that, but that'll be in all of the states that 15 stars is in. And also on our website, both 15 stars and First West, and we ship to 43 of the 50 states, I think is the number. So a real good area. If you can't find it in your state, if you can find it in your state, support your local retailers. But if you can't, you can buy it on our website and get it sent to your door.
Nice.
Love
Nice.
it. You guys have made it so
Love
simple,
it.
or
Yeah, I love
technology's
it.
made it so simple.
Technology has
I'll
helped,
take the
that's for
credit.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Ricky
love it.
fills the shelf on there, so he makes it happen.
No,
And
I love it.
if folks want to sign up for our newsletter, we love to keep people up to date with what we're doing. Ricky always says he writes the newsletter, so there's not a lot of BS in it, right?
Yep.
We're not gonna send extras just for fun.
I'm not talking just to talk.
I love it, man.
Unless his
I
internet
love it.
drops out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
In most
Ricky,
cases.
Ricky's a man of few words, and I love it. But they're to the point. I love it. My favorite. So, yeah, it's been awesome, guys. Like I'm really excited for this line. Everything's fantastic as always, and I'm really excited for um, what's to come. I'm excited to get my hands on that bottle at Bourbon Fest. Can't wait to see you guys, meet you guys in person, shake your hand, give you a hug, whatever.
It'd be great to see you there.
We'll share a drink
Perfect.
for sure.
Sounds great. We enjoyed it. We always love spending some time with you.
Absolutely,
Thanks so
we
much.
really do appreciate you
Yeah.
guys.
Yep, we enjoy it.
Appreciate it, Ricky.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
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 All I have are empty glasses.
Yeah.
That means it was good.